Okay, I'll do my best in putting something across. Clearly, all of us have the very instruments to put across that is not an instrument. It's in this direction I want to go on this call with you. And I'm not using any navigational equipment other than the love of the deep. I'm also endeavoring to, as I express, to align the alignments within the planetary system, sometimes called the cosmos, at this apparent time. But that's not the heart of what I want to share. They're kind of like looking in a mirror. A mirror is very handy to see yourself as you appear and to see what's behind you. There's more power beyond the mirror. But the mirror gives one the ability to see the codes of appearance, the codes of what one has actuated, not as a small self. I'm not pointing to a small self. To me, there is no small self. To me, really, there is nobody here. Now, this isn't just talk. We have to define what that is. Because most of us will need a mirror to see our image or the likeness of our image. And most of us are still on this planet, still needing mirrors of likenesses of the image that this I, we all call ourselves I, have brought into a moment of creation to mirror the depth I am coming from. You'll have to decode this, of course, as I speak, because quite honestly, I have no idea what I'm about to say. So none of this is smart talk. It's right here and now. The translation of not needing a mirror. But imagine a moment coming when you're not needing a mirror of anything whatsoever. And it's just black. And I would say to you that moment of black, these are just a pointer. I'm using the word moment to point. That at that moment of the black apprehending what appeared to have an image is extremely powerful. In fact, the word power, once again, is just a pointer. Not needing a mirror is the point I suggest. When whoever one is, it's clearly seen how the appearance has emerged from the deep. Knowingly emerged from the deep, has no name, has no need of navigation, has no need of any kind of image to reflect on. That no mirror place is the moment that this apparent I has been fully claimed by what it already is. It just needs to be a flash or a blink of the deep. So, such a power. I can use the word connection, but it's beyond two. Two suggests to me something that connects with another power. So most of us don't see that we close our eyes, these sense perceptive ones, but that's still very much working. The images of the mirror are still very much working, still producing the images, still producing the dramas, still producing the chaos, still producing the self-likes and dislikes, still producing the duality. That no matter how much one may close one's eyes, the images are still dancing on what makes life possible. The instrument is still identified with. The body-mind, still identified with. But the wonder of the black, the power of the deep, that is what one is. Prior to all, even light. Just one taste is enough to have the right kind of addiction to be called in a constant discovering of what I am at root. Without that calling, that conviction of being called, what am I at root? One will still play the games of a mind that is not yet turned into a sanctuary of the immeasurable, of the impossible. One has not energized the mind, its appearance as the body, as a sanctuary, a temple of the unnameable, of the faceless, the causeless, the powerless power. It's why or how the form had come through this being, to see that this appearance is the building of a sanctuary. This appearance is the building of a phenomenal appearance of that does not appear. To build a temple that appears to be named as a human, but can also be a flower or a mountain. But let's just stick with humans for this moment. One is pulled off track to the mental, emotional, psychic realm of images, believing the world is what one is and what one gives one's energy to. Time and space is what one came from and belongs to. And they're all illusions in the real sense of the word, or a game. But the most profound game is to see that each moment one is called into the deep to vibrate what appears as one's life, as a temple, not in the religious sense, not in the sense of having a master, not in the sense of something other, but in the sense of what I am pulled to realize deeply I already am. Vibrates this body mind and builds it, and it hums at such a frequency, even when the body falls away, the power that was humming, the power that realized itself, still is communicating what it is, not with a face, not with a name, not with a someoneness, not from a cult, not from a religion, but from I. It's like a code that's been given into creation, like a mapless map, where the deep, as it were, lost itself in creation in order to find itself as it and beyond it. With no cause, no effect, no reason, it just is this way. The body being, as it were, sanctified, with no connotation to religion, please, purified of images and identities. And now the body-mind buzzes at a frequency that this consciousness, this awareness has realized itself. To whatever degree, to whatever level, this is the universe realizing itself. This is the self realizing itself. This is like blood in your veins. As purified of the doubt and fears that limitation tends to sustain and creep in. When one believes the image in the mirror is what I am, the mirror of the world. Now I'm going to flip in my endeavor to, as it were, show a pure mirror. The movements of the dance of the cosmos is no different. Everything is made for everything to realize what it is at root. planets, stars, light systems join, merge, and timeless moments happens when a system is completely in alignment and portholes open. And those that have been living a sensitive life, sensitive means I feel everything. I do my best not to put a name on what I feel. And it's I hurt, I'm afraid. And all these ideas that we create images of ourselves. One who is sensitive is keeping wide open as possible in each and every moment. Really doing the workless work of not believing in the bathroom mirror or any mirror, although it may hurt, although it may stick in, although it may pierce, everything serves the complete and utter surrender of being the image in the mirror. Not out of religion, not out of technique, but out of calling, out of the wonder that I have tasted, I know the deep. It's what I ceaselessly seek and am called to. So that kind of sensitivity builds a very kind of a vehicle that does pass away, but it leaves a signature of wonder, of purpose, like a divine arrow, not left by someone, but just left by that one. It is true, this is what I am. All this is made of what I already am, but without image. And if you have a look within your life book, you may see what still stings you, what still touches you as an image, and where you struggle with that, where you judge that, or where you see it just doesn't touch as it used to. Something else has replaced it. What used to sting, what used to hurt, now has become a door. Now has become black and deep and yet bright. The workless work of being so sensitive to the life, to the moment, to what is. It's not even a remembering of what I am, although one could point to the remembering. It's this clarity of what this moment really contains, and it is an expression of. And roaring silence becomes one's nature. Simple joy becomes one's pulse. Wonder becomes one's mind. And deeper discovery and entrance beyond the mirror on the wall is what I am and what I live for. And these doors open up just as they do in our own bodies, because our own body is a mirror of the cosmos, is a mirror of the universe, is a mirror of what sometimes is called divine worlds, a different kind of light that does not need mirrors. This apparent year, apparent, this cycle of opportunity, because that's all that exists. The deeper word for opportunity is potentiality. It always has been, or what some call the soul, to realize what it is at root that changes everything that's in the mirror, everything that's on the earth, everything that's in the body, in the mind, everything that's everything. Not out of need of change, but natural, whole, alchemic, prayerful, unimaginable, actually, where even one's imagination begins to upgrade to something far finer than a label on one's forehead of a name. This is this year, very much so. Opportunities to release the mirror effect. And not just taste steep, but realize it as oneself. Not everyone is going to see this. Like not everyone right now on this planet has any idea the celestial openings that happened in what, after all, is a creative sky of consciousness. I believe we're back on, yes? Back on, back on. You can hear, yeah. But the opportunity to go beyond what the world informs you, which is only one's mind anyway. What the mind informs you. To see that the entire cosmos is your true mirror. The abundance of consciousness is the real abundance of awareness, is the real power. And from that, the kind of creation that emerges is a power that vibrates and remains even when the body-mind passes away. It's how the universe builds itself, not from personal discovery, but from the immediate discovery of source. So you can see, often we humans only look at things through the perspectives of the life we've lived, or the life our families have lived, or the life we've read in books. Overlay after overlay after overlay of images that do not belong to what we are. Mirrors, mirrors, mirrors on the wall of existence that one does not have to come from. We're not roped in a particular activity. It's just experience. What you're actually experiencing is being aware. So I wonder how you're all hearing this. Does it support you? I was saying earlier that the form is literally the building of an energetic temple. I use the word temple loosely. A vibrational field. That real life leaves a footprint on in any planetary system that it's realizing what it is in the creative realm, what it is in the unseen. We go so deep. If only we will allow our attention to go beyond the limits of our personalized experience. Literally, this is 2026. There will be those that go beyond and those that build the barriers back up. What calls you in this life? To discover the deep? Are you prepared to discover the deep? Which means, has the day become for you before you start in the morning? But also during your whole day, is there that much attention to giving, being aware? That the mirrors on the wall do not claim your energy and you play them out in your mind and play them out how you move. Are we that interested in what we first deeply are, at the root where peace is, where the profound is, where the real is? I suggest to you that the practice of the form is such an instrument. But if we just practice it like we've practiced it for so long, but not seeing every movement is actually new energy. Every movement is the invisible moving. It's the mind that has recorded the movement of this me person. that one takes one to be. I don't know for you if this takes courage or more love or more understanding, or whether you're now wearing the kind of vibrational heart, skin, mind that's called beyond that play of smallness. But along with this, I suggest there's enough compassion for yourself and compassion for others as yourself, as you come to understand what you're actually in, what you actually are. You're in a play of dissolving a world around a me character that does not actually exist, and all the forces to keep that character in a line with the limits of small body-mind identity. And yet, at the root, one is an unbelievable power of presence, light, and awareness. Which is it to be? A dilemma of body-mind, or a power of presence, wonder, and compassion? What is it to be? I would suggest we give ourselves to the engagement in our life. We're able to give our full attention to what is. We're able to see through the shells of the body-mind identity, of the levels that we've created and maybe enjoyed or just took part in. But now they either collapse, dissolved, or transformed by self-realization, which is, after all, divine love. So these are quite powerful times. But even that is quite odd to say this is quite powerful times, because there really is only the power that's timeless. And yet the universe is to display of that that's coming out of the deep, that emerges in an instant. All worlds. Does that tingle your toes? Does mine? Does that thrill your heart? Does that sing in your soul? Because that's the way to go. What is one to be? Dead or alive? Sounds like a Western, doesn't it? I want you dead or alive. Well, it's literally like that. Dead or alive. What are you to be? Recognize when you're dead. Recognize when you're alive. And the shift quite naturally happens. There are many people at this moment. I would suggest this is just me saying, returning to what's dead, not what's alive. Returning to religions rather than dissolving the religion. To discover what is at the heart of all this. Well, surely it is I. Have a mirror, let it break or dissolve, dead or alive. What is it to be in the breath that we take? I would suggest alive, the unknown, not monitored by body or mind, that just emerged as a new vibration of what I already am. Or dead, the same mirrors, same patterns, the same colors, all dead, but I still speak them, live them, move them as if they're I. Dead or alive. Now, by the way, there's no bounty. There's no bounty on this. You understand bounty, right? There's no bounty. But I would suggest there is the bounty for if you're alive. If you've been practicing the form over these past few days, um, in the calling to take the hand of the porthole, they're quite naturally opened for no one, but for those beings called to higher resonance. Maybe you could share that in the groups we're about to put you all into, and also share what are you hearing in this crazy dead or alive talk. And I'll see you in 10-15 minutes. Hello, hello. Uh, Not sure whether it seems to be frozen again. No, not frozen. Okay. Okay, but some of you are there like this. Very good, isn't it? Okay, going to put out in a moment for sharing. Whether that comes in questions or answers, or whether you'd just like to share, is totally up to you. Just want to share an insight. Yeah. If there's not a genuine deeper calling in one's life, because in truth one is the creator or the source of creation, not as an identity, but as consciousness. And one is also the source as pure awareness of that consciousness. If there's not a genuine calling of the deep, of the meaning, then one stops being loose in the spaciousness of what really is our innate true nature. One stops being loose, let's just call it in the interior. And all those images that we build, which also build the world that we all see and experience, not the earth, I'm talking the world, then all those images keep you from realizing what you are. But you can never not be what you are. That's the paradox. But to be alive completely as the peace, the love, the profundity of what one is that not the meaning of a life? That's a question. Mm? So when we're so identified with the labels we give ourselves and our lives and what we live for, we're not loose. Now, I've experienced over the years of pointing and of teaching the form, I've come upon those moments when a whole group of people turn into beings and they're all loose. And they've been loosed from that they can name, that they know as space and time, that is an image. Suddenly one is loose. And when one is truly loose, the world doesn't exist. Even sense perception may not in that moment exist for that really exists. Why I'm saying this is because I'm just recalling a moment in India where I sat, funny enough, under a tree and just disappeared for over 12 hours. It was because I'm loose. This wasn't one of those moments when consciousness was discovering other levels of itself. It was just all profoundly loose and deep and no thing. And then suddenly the body position appeared. Now, in such a consciousness, it really didn't seem any different to suddenly have physical forms when in the deeper looseness, one was not a physical form. But one has to bring, as it were, that consciousness into this form for one to enjoy the enjoyment of being loose. Then one doesn't experience birth and death. When one experiences death, because one is being loose here and now, that's what I point to in the practice of the form. That's why I say if somebody's in the practice and they're gone, well, they're loose. Don't go waking them up. Don't go getting them back. Come back here to this fixed position. No, leave them to be loose. So in many ways, when we're being simply aware, but directly aware, consciously, presently aware, we're loosening the grip within the body-mind, which we trained the body-mind to grip onto images. But the body-mind is really a river. It's not a pair of pincers holding everything together. It's a river of life. So the looser we become, the more beautiful, the more subtle, the finer all is. And we're able to perceive beyond this three-dimensional world and join it with other dimensions of this singular I that is I, who am listening to these words now. That's, I suggest, the point. So whether that was once Jesus, or whether that was once Buddha, or whether that was Jack Jones down the road, it really didn't matter. They're just labels. It is I. Now have a look. Really have a look. How loose are you right here, right now? Have a look. As it were, pay attention to where it's not loose. Not to do something with it, but just to see it from a loose place. Look at that, there's a noose. Loose or a noose? It's kind of like, what did I say earlier? Dead or alive, isn't it? It's kind of like that. But it's where you put your attention, you see. If you're putting your attention into what is loose, then your attention also extends to what is tight. And there is transformation, not because it needs to happen, but it's very natural. And all the things that one used to believe, even in the subconscious, that's something to do with you, don't. They're just collections of images. Whilst the beings on earth literally learn this is a university to discover essential nature and the ability to bring into the earth what is not of the earth. And the earth, she will shape it and give it vibrational form. Just for a while, because she births and she kills. She takes on, births the image, but she also lets it decay because she belongs to the inspiration of that has no beginning or end. So that was the little piece I wanted to kind of share with you.